How's the intensity been at practice so far for the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I thought today, defensively, I thought we played probably our best practice of the spring. We're playing a lot more with what I call personality, with our linebackers and our secondary disguising some of the pressures. I think in the past, we've been a little bit predictable. We've been very good, but we've been a little bit predictable with our indicators. And I think Coach Banks and Coach Pry and the rest of the defensive staff doing a really good job of disguising some of the things in our off-season studies. But I thought they played really well. But I thought the energy and intensity was really good. Obviously being able to get outside, you'd like the weather to be a little bit better. We had about 2 weeks that were really good, and it's kind of turned on us. But it's been really good. The intensity's been good. The energy's been good. We got great leadership on either side of the ball, with our coaches.
Brian said yesterday that the defense is still kind of looking for that identity that we might have seen a little bit of today, and you just mentioned yourself. Is that personality that they're just really relishing that communication and that type of identity there?
I thought today, like I said before, was probably the best we've played. There was some energy, there was some confidence. They made a bunch of plays. The personality is more just kind of off-season studies that we did in terms of how we want to try to disguise some of our coverages, try to disguise some of our blitzes. We felt like that was an area that we could improve on. And then obviously not having some of the guys, this spring that are veteran, really good players. Other guys have had to step up into those roles, but they've done a nice job. I think it's a great opportunity for some other guys. Manny's getting a bunch of reps, which is great for him. Cooper's getting a bunch of reps. Kevin Givens getting a bunch of reps, which is really good for those guys. So I thought today was the first time the defense played with a lot of confidence. You brought up communication, which was another big off-season thing for us that we wanted to do a better job of, that I know Brent, the defensive staff, have been emphasizing.
With the flip side of it, how do you kind of balance? I know you guys are moving players around a little bit. Has he been working there? I mean, just you guys want to get him more familiar on the right side? Or?
Well, he had missed a practice our last practice, and we had Nelly at left tackle, and thought it went well. So we thought, let's experiment with Paris at right tackle. Sometimes you make those types of moves because of the situation you're in, and it ends up being a blessing in disguise. So it's still us kind of searching for the best five, get them on the field, and not only getting the right people on the bus, but getting them in the right seats as well. So just kind of experimenting with that. Really, to be honest with you, more than that, we're kind of looking at who are the other guys, whether is it Noah Bay, is it Sterling Jenkins, is he ready yet? Is it Connor McGovern, who we're experimenting a little bit at tackle as well, is doing a nice job for a true freshman.
Is that something, James, that you hope to have kind of settled by the end of spring, or will it carry on into preseason camp?
Yeah, I think, just like the quarterback situation, a lot of these situations, the more that you can have settled going in to the summer, the better. But it may be a deal. We got competition probably for the first time, so it may be a deal that goes into the summer. But you'd always love to have things resolved as much as you possibly can.
With guys out and both sides doing a little bit of install, would you say that defense is ahead of the offense, or vice versa, and does it really matter to you at this point?
I didn't think that all spring, but today it felt that way. We're also at a point now where the defense has got everything in, and the way we kind of go through spring ball, we kind of make sure that we're doing it part whole. We kind of build. So offensively, they're not going to do a lot of shift in motioning and things like that and do crazy tempo early on for our defense. Our defense is not going to blitz a lot early in spring ball. We're kind of going to build. So you can go, 4 down to start with no twisting, then you go 4 down with a little bit of twisting, then you'll do 5-man pressures, and then you work to 6-man pressures. But we're at the point right now, spring ball, where everything's in, so they're getting a lot of different looks, and it showed up, today where I thought, the defense played with a little bit more confidence, and obviously they've been running the same system now for going on year 3.
James, I believe you said before that Barkley had the fastest 40 in the spring. Obviously, he set the lifting record with 395 pounds. You've been a coach for a long time. How rare is that blend of speed and strength? And have you ever had a guy who was the fastest and also one of the strongest, had one of the largest lifts?
I don't know. I mean, he's pretty rare. He's pretty special. I haven't been around too many guys like him, but I haven't really kind of sat down and kind of thought that through in terms of the combination. He's pretty rare. There's no doubt about that.
What have you seen from other parts of his game this year with pass protection and pass catching?
we've been trying to get him as many reps as we possibly can, especially in the non-live periods. For a number of reasons. I think we know what he can do in live situations, and we're still able to get all the pass pro and kind of understanding the defense and understanding the system, anticipating pressures and blitzes and things like that. He's done a nice job of that. Mark Allen's the guy that's really taken the opportunity right now and run with it. He had a great Saturday, played extremely well, broke a bunch of tackles. So, Saquon's doing some really, really nice things, but it's also been really good to evaluate some of those other guys in the live stuff because we've limited, Saquon in those situations a little bit.
Who are the other backs that with pass protection beyond?
Good. Mark is a guy that you always question his pass protection because he's undersized. But I think I've said to you guys before, from a technique, from a fundamental, and obviously from a leverage standpoint, he's got that naturally. He's been one of our best pass protectors really since he's arrived. Andre's still a guy that I think is doing well, but probably is a little bit behind those guys in that area.
Saw a couple of the quarterbacks, check the play on the sideline. How's that adjustment coming along with Joe being down on the sideline, and he'll continue obviously through the season to be down there?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, in practice, the coaches are always on the sideline, so it's no different than what they're ever used to. And we've had coordinators on the sideline and in the box. So
in terms of that communication back and forth, how's that coming along for the offense as a unit?
It's good. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell because the coaches are always on the field during practice, so it's not a whole lot different than it normally is. But it's been good. I sit in the meetings 95% of the time with the quarterbacks and Joe. He's a tremendous teacher. He's got tremendous passion and belief in his system and what he's doing. And like I said to you guys before, we have taught conceptual football in the past anyway, so it's not like we're running different plays. It's how the whole system is put together. So I know Joe's been very impressed with Trace especially and Tommy, just their knowledge of the game and kind of understanding. So that's helped the transition for them.
James, have you guys done any tackling yet this spring? And if so, what has he been able to gain from that, just compared to what you're able to gain from the tag-off tackling?
Yeah, we've done a lot of tackling. I say a lot of tackling, and when it comes to today's day and age of football, where you don't do a whole lot, I think we've done a decent amount. On Saturdays, we've also had a couple, early on where we had maybe a period that was tackling. But Saturdays have been good. Like I said, this past Saturday, I thought Mark Allen played really well, broke a lot of tackles, made a bunch of plays. But that's been good. I think one of the points that we talked about with the team is we probably missed some tackles at corner. Give Mark credit, but also we need to do a better job of getting guys to the ground. And and with Joe's system with the run pass options, you really create conflict with guys at times. So it makes your linebackers, it makes your safeties a little bit hesitant at times. They can't flow as fast. And then you're also able to get your corners in one-on-one situations at times. And last Saturday, Mark took advantage of that.
Well, this mobile is your
bullet points that you want to come out offensively of spring that you can go into summer and preseason camp say these guys know this, I know they know this, and then we can move on.
I think it's first of all, it's a foundation of understanding the scheme. It's really gotten to have a good feel for the scheme and understanding what their responsibilities and their assignments are, and then it's building confidence. But I think that's really happened very early on because, like I said, the way we kind of structure practice, where they're not getting a bunch of looks from the defense, it allowed the offense to have some success early on, and they did. You combine that with now the defense having to worry about Trace and Tommy and their legs. It changes things, So the biggest thing is lay a foundation for the system and their assignments and responsibilities, and then build confidence. And I think both of those things has happened. There's an excitement right now, offensively. The line's playing better. We still have some things that we got to get resolved. We're veteran now at wide receiver, where we've been young in the past. We're veteran at running back. And we got some experience at tight end. So, we've been pleased with that.
Saquon hasn't talked to us until today, and he's been here for a year. What have you learned about him that we're going to find out over the past years?
I think the thing I've probably been so impressed with is just how humble he is. I think for a guy that has gotten a lot of attention in a very, very short period of time, he's handled it very well. You wouldn't even know. And that's not just me. That's having my player meetings with all the guys on the team, and a lot of guys commented how he's handled it, how he is on campus, how he is Saturday night. how he is just with his teammates in the locker room and his approach on the field. He's very humble. He's very hardworking. Very mature. He's doing extremely well academically, and you don't see that very often. You don't see young guys. So I think you guys will come to appreciate that. You'll get to know him. I know some of you guys disagree with kind of the philosophy, but we believe that we want to prepare these guys to be successful. So we want to take that first year to give them some media training and build confidence, and then put them out here so you guys can build relationships and get to know them.
One more. Has Saquon taken more?
Just so you know, Chris doesn't let me get this many questions.
No?
Yeah. When's Chris coming back?
She'll be back next.
He can't discuss injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Saquon's role in the locker room and leadership way grown this year in the spring?
Yeah, I think obviously, when you're a true freshman, it's hard to have a big leadership role, and then when you earn a starting job and then play the way he's played and kind of have the approach that I just talked about, I think that's something that's important to him, his leadership opportunity on the team. And I think he also understands, based on the success that he's had and how he's handled himself, that we need him to step up into more of a leadership role. But again, he's still a true sophomore, 19 years old. So that's going to come with time. But there's no doubt it's different, obviously, as a true freshman compared to now.
Great, thanks, Coach.